Listen, if someone is ignoring you, it's not an accident, it's a choice, and the more you chase them, the more power you give away. Stop handing over your self-worth to people who can't even see your value. Respect is not begged for, it's earned, and if they can't give it, you walk, because the moment you stop chasing people who don't care, you open the door for those who actually do. Respect is not something you chase or beg for. It's something that naturally comes when people recognize your value, your boundaries, and the way you carry yourself. When you go around asking for respect, you're already setting yourself up to lose, because the very act of asking places you in a position of neediness and dependence. Respect is not requested, it's reciprocated. It's not about what you demand, it's about what you embody. People watch how you show up, how you treat yourself, and how you allow others to treat you. If you treat yourself like you're unworthy, others will mirror that. If you set standards and hold firm, people either rise to meet them or they disappear, and either outcome is a win for you. Too many people fall into the trap of thinking that if they do more, give more, or try harder, they will earn respect. They chase after validation like it's a prize to be won, constantly running after people who withhold it. But respect doesn't come from overextending yourself to people who don't care. That's not respect, that's desperation. The truth is, the more you push for it, the further it slips away, because genuine respect can't be forced. It's built through authenticity, consistency, and confidence. It's built when you stop explaining your worth and start living it. Think about it. When someone truly respects you, you don't have to ask them to show it. They naturally acknowledge your time, your boundaries, your presence. They don't dismiss you or treat you like an option. On the other hand, when someone doesn't respect you, all the begging in the world won't change that. They might give you temporary attention to quiet you down, but deep down, the dynamic stays the same. The person who chases ends up small, while the person being chased holds all the power. That's why chasing respect is a losing game. It's an exchange where you give everything and receive almost nothing in return. Real respect begins with you. It begins with the way you talk to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the standards you set for your own life. If you tolerate being ignored, dismissed, or treated as less, you're teaching people how to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect just to keep someone around, you've already told them you'll settle for scraps. But when you refuse to play that game, when you stop chasing and start walking away, the whole energy shifts. You move from begging for respect to commanding it. People sense when you value yourself, and those who are capable of giving respect respond to it. Those who aren't, they fall away, and you're better off without them. Respect is about reciprocity. You give it, you receive it. But if you're the only one giving and the other person is only taking, that's not reciprocity. That's exploitation. You can't afford to keep investing in people who don't invest in you. Every time you pour your energy into someone who refuses to acknowledge it, you drain yourself of the confidence you need to succeed. And here's the reality. People who truly matter won't make you chase them. They will see you, value you, and meet you where you are. Stop proving your worth to people who already decided not to see it. Your time is too precious, your energy too valuable. Respect is not requested, it's reciprocated. Chasing people is one of the fastest ways to erode your confidence and your power, because every step you take towards someone who doesn't value you is a step away from your own worth. The more you run after people, the more you signal that their attention is more valuable than your self-respect. And once you fall into that cycle, it doesn't just affect how they see you, it affects how you see yourself. You start to question your importance, you start to wonder why you aren't enough, and slowly you chip away at the foundation of your confidence. When you chase, you place yourself in a position of inequality. You become the one who is seeking, the one who is waiting, the one who is hoping for scraps of acknowledgement. And when you put yourself in that position, you are handing over power without even realizing it. Power in relationships, whether personal, professional, or social, comes from balance. Both people respect each other, both give and receive. But when you start running after someone who refuses to meet you halfway, you destroy that balance. They become the prize, and you become the pursuer, and that dynamic never ends in your favor. Think about the times you've chased someone's approval. Maybe it was constantly checking your phone, waiting for a text that never came. Maybe it was making excuses for someone who continuously ignored you. Maybe it was saying yes when you wanted to say no, just to keep them interested or happy. Every single time, you gave a little bit of your power away. And what did you get in return? More distance, more indifference, more silence. Because the truth is, people value what they don't have to chase. When you stop chasing, you create space for others to step up, and the ones who respect you will. The ones who don't will fall back, and that's the clarity you need. Confidence cannot coexist with constant chasing. Confidence is built by knowing your worth, by standing firm in your boundaries, by not bending every time someone refuses to meet you where you are. Chasing tells you the opposite story. It whispers that you're not enough unless someone else validates you. It convinces you that their approval defines your importance, and when you start believing that, you erode the very confidence you need to walk away from disrespect. You become dependent on their attention for your sense of identity, and that's where you lose your power. Power is about choice. It's about knowing you can walk away from anyone who doesn't treat you with the respect you deserve. But when you chase, you give that choice away. You tie your worth to their response. You tell yourself that if they finally acknowledge you, then you'll be enough. But what happens if they never do? You're left empty, drained, and defeated. That's the danger of chasing people who ignore you. It's a trap that pulls you further and further from yourself. The shift comes when you stop, when you decide that your energy is too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't see it. When you choose to hold your ground instead of running after people who are walking away. That decision restores your confidence because it's you reminding yourself that you matter, whether or not they validate it. It restores your power because you're no longer waiting on anyone else to define your worth. And it creates a powerful boundary. I will not chase what is not chasing me. I will not pursue people who refuse to value me. My confidence and my power belong to me, and I refuse to give them away for free. Indifference is one of the clearest answers you will ever receive, yet it's the one most people refuse to accept. When someone ignores you, avoids you, or gives you nothing but silence, that silence speaks volumes. It says, "You are not my priority, you are not my focus, you are not my choice." But instead of hearing that truth, many people create stories in their head. They convince themselves that maybe the person is busy, maybe they didn't see the message, maybe tomorrow will be different. They cling to excuses because facing the reality hurts more than waiting. But indifference is not an accident. It's intentional, and the faster you accept that, the faster you protect yourself from unnecessary pain. When people truly want you in their lives, you don't have to chase them. You don't have to beg for a reply or wonder why they disappeared. They will show you through effort, attention, and consistency. Indifference, on the other hand, is a deliberate choice to not engage, to not reciprocate, to not invest, and that choice is an answer in itself. The more you deny it, the more you keep yourself stuck in a cycle of hope and disappointment. The more you interpret their silence as something temporary, the more you lose time that could be spent with people who actually value you. The hardest truth is that people are never too busy for what matters to them. If someone is ignoring you, it's not because they don't have a spare second. It's because they don't want to use that second on you. That's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their choice. But if you refuse to accept their indifference as an answer, you turn it into self-doubt. You start wondering what you did wrong, what you could do better, what's missing in you. You make their lack of interest mean something about your value, when in reality it only means something about their priorities. Indifference is powerful because it creates a void, and in that void, people often pour their energy trying to fill it with effort, attention, and persistence. They think if they just try harder, the silence will break, But the truth is, no amount of chasing can force someone to care. Indifference cannot be turned into interest through begging. It only deepens the gap because the more you chase, the more power you give away. The more power you give away, the more invisible you become in their eyes. It's a vicious cycle, and the only way to end it is to see indifference for what it is, a clear no. There is strength in letting silence be the closure you need. There is freedom in realizing you don't need a detailed explanation or a long conversation to move on. If someone is indifferent toward you, that is their answer, and it's more honest than any excuse they could ever give. When you stop fighting that truth, you take your power back. You no longer waste energy waiting for someone who already made their choice. You no longer try to convince someone who has no desire to be convinced. You shift your focus back to yourself, and you create space for people who won't hesitate to value your presence. The reality is simple. Indifference is clarity. It may not be the clarity you wanted, but it's the clarity you need. It saves you from false hope, wasted time, and emotional exhaustion. When someone shows you through their actions, or lack of action, that you don't matter to them, believe them the first time. Don't chase, don't question, don't rewrite the story. Accept indifference as the answer it is and choose yourself instead. Your value does not decrease just because someone else overlooks it. Too often, people take another person's rejection or indifference as proof that they are not enough. They believe that if someone fails to see their worth, it must mean their worth isn't real. But that is a dangerous lie. Your value is not determined by someone's perception. It is determined by who you are and how you choose to carry yourself. One person's inability to appreciate you does not suddenly make you less. It simply exposes their inability to recognize what you bring to the table. Think of it like this: a diamond doesn't lose its worth just because someone mistakes it for glass. A person's ignorance doesn't erase the fact that the diamond is still rare, still valuable, still precious. The same is true for you. If someone treats you like you don't matter, that doesn't mean you don't matter. It means they don't have the eyes to see what you're worth. And if you spend your time chasing after people who can't see your value, you start to believe their blindness. You shrink yourself, you doubt yourself, and you begin to think that maybe you aren't as important as you once believed. That's how people lose themselves, not because their value changed, but because they allowed someone else's opinion to rewrite the story of who they are. The truth is, every single person has worth, but not everyone will recognize it. That doesn't make you less, it makes them limited. If you tie your identity to whether someone else validates you, then your self-worth will rise and fall depending on how they treat you. One moment you'll feel strong because they notice you, the next moment you'll feel small because they don't. That is a fragile way to live, because your sense of self becomes dependent on people who are inconsistent. To truly honor your worth, you have to anchor it in yourself, not in the shifting opinions of others. When someone overlooks you, that is not your cue to try harder, to chase more, to prove yourself worthy. That is your cue to step back and remind yourself, I was valuable before they ignored me, and I will be valuable after. Your worth is not up for debate. It doesn't fluctuate based on who accepts or rejects you. It remains steady like the ground you stand on. The people who can see it will show up and honor it. The people who can't will drift away, and that is a gift, because it clears the space for those who actually deserve to be in your life. It takes strength to separate your self-image from someone else's treatment of you. It takes discipline to say, their opinion of me is not my reality, but the moment you make that shift, you stop living like a reflection in someone else's mirror. You start living as your own anchor. And that kind of unshakable confidence is magnetic. People respect those who know their value and refuse to compromise it. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with quiet certainty, not desperation. Never forget that your worth is intrinsic. It does not go up when someone notices you, and it does not go down when someone ignores you. If you allow others to define it, you will always feel like you're not enough. But if you hold it within yourself, you'll realize you've been enough all along. The challenge is not to make others see your value, it's to never stop seeing it yourself, no matter who overlooks it. Walking away is one of the most powerful moves you can make because it creates the space for people who truly respect you to enter your life. When you hold on to relationships, friendships, or situations where you are undervalued, you block yourself from the opportunities and connections that are waiting for you. Many people cling to what is familiar, even if it's harmful, because they fear the uncertainty that comes with letting go. But here's the truth. Every time you choose to stay where you are not respected, you are saying no to the people who would actually honor your presence. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't care, it doesn't mean you lost, and it doesn't mean you are weak. It means you know your value and you refuse to lower your standards to keep someone around. It is an act of courage because it takes strength to release what is comfortable but damaging. Most people stay too long, convincing themselves that if they just try harder or wait longer, the other person will finally give them the respect they deserve. But time doesn't change people who have already shown you they don't value you. If anything, the longer you stay, the deeper the disrespect becomes. Walking away is the only choice that protects your dignity and clears your path. When you walk away, you send a powerful message, not only to the other person, but to yourself. You say, I am not afraid to be alone if the alternative is being mistreated. You affirm that your peace of mind is worth more than anyone's approval. And most importantly, you show yourself that you are strong enough to let go of what is beneath you. That act of self-respect builds a kind of confidence that no one can take away from you. Because once you've proven to yourself that you can walk away, you no longer fear losing people. You know that you will be okay with or without them. People who truly respect you will never force you to chase them. They will meet you with consistency, effort, and care. They will value your time and presence because they see what you bring into their lives. And you will never have to beg for that it will happen naturally. But you cannot attract those people if your life is already full of individuals who drain you, ignore you, or treat you like an afterthought. Sometimes the reason you haven't found the people who will respect you is because you haven't cleared the space for them to arrive. Walking away creates that space. There is also freedom in realizing that not everyone is meant to stay with you. Some people are only in your life to teach you what you don't want, what you won't accept, and what you will never tolerate again. Their role is not to stay forever, but to strengthen your boundaries. When you release them, you are not losing. You are evolving. You are saying, I deserve more and I will not stop until I find it. That mindset transforms how you see yourself and how others see you. The reality is simple. You cannot force people to respect you, but you can refuse to stay where you are disrespected. You cannot control how someone else treats you, but you can control how long you allow it. Walking away is not giving up, it is leveling up. It is the decision to stop wasting time on people who refuse to value you and to create the space for those who will.